Welcome to Inkscape. In this tutorial, we're going to do the good old hello world and get you going. So first things first. The first thing you're going to do when you get into Inkscape is you're going to change the default size of the page you're working on because you're either going to be going to a laser cutter or specifically to a piece of wood that you've made and putting it in a laser cutter. That's for the most part what we're going to be doing with this software. So to start off with, we're going to go to File right away. From File, come down to Document Properties. From document properties, we're going to work in inches. So right here, we're going to go inches. And the width is 24 by 12 because this is the size of our laser cutter. And the only other thing we're going to do over here is display units in inches. All right, now you can see in the background already what's happened, and my page has now become 24 by 12. So a couple things. If I scroll up and down, you can see it moves side to side. Holding Control key down, you can zoom in and out by scrolling on the scroll button. If I hold the Shift key down, that goes left and right. And if I hold the Alt key down, it does nothing. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. Second thing is you can see my icons are quite big on the screen. So where I get that from is Edit, Preferences, and from here, there's one called Interface. From Interface, you got Toolbars, and I've made my toolbars twice as big. So you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, they're really small and they're going big. So if you can't see them all, or you want them bigger, just adjust that. Okay, there's our first things done. Next, we're going to make a simple box. So this is the select tool where we select things with. This is a box. So I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm going to hold my left mouse button down and I'm going to drag out. Now yours might not come up this color right away. All right. So I'm just going to hit the select button now and you can see that I can click somewhere else, click on it, and I can select. So the first thing is I've said the box must be 4 inches wide. So I'm going to put a 4 up here. Okay, I'm going to hit Tab key and I'm going to put 2.5 right there. That is how big your box is supposed to be for this assignment, the very first one we're going to do. All right, next, I want to edit this box because your box might be filled in with colors, might have different color outlines. I don't know what you got, so we're going to do and figure that out. So I'm going to click on the box and up top, I'm going to go to Object. And I'm going to go to what's called Fill and Stroke. So Fill and Stroke comes up over here. All right. So what do we need to know? Well, fill. If I click on a flat color, okay, you can see it goes black. Okay. And I can actually click on it, right? And basically I can turn it off. I can turn it on, right? There's my colors. And up in here, you're going to say HSL. You need to change yours to RGB. So the biggest mistake everybody makes is this doesn't say RGB. All right, so that's the first thing done. So that's our fill color. Next is our, okay, and this time around, we don't want any fill. So we're gonna go for an X, okay? Next is what's called our stroke paint. Our stroke is the outside line. So right now you can see it's red, right? So if I click on here and I change this and I pull it all the way back, now it's at black. So once again, in this case, you want RGB. From RGB, we're going to put this all the way up to 255, 0, 0, and 100. That is red. Why red? Because this is what the laser cutter is going to use. All right, so we've done that. Next, we're going to go to stroke style. Okay, and here, you might have something else, okay, but you need 0.001. That is the stroke style that you need for the laser to work. So when I click on this box, 0.001 in inches is what we have to have. All right. Now, yours may not be very visible. If you go to View, Display Mode, make sure that says Visible Hairlines is picked, because if you do that, okay, your lines, when you scroll in and out like this, it'll show up better for you. Okay, there's the first part. Next part is some text that says Hello World. So we go to the letter A for text. Okay, we just click and we go Hello World. Okay, now again, you can see that mine is filled in, or not filled in, it's just red. So I'm going to go back to fill. This time I'm going to pick it and go black. You can see it's black. Second thing, stroke paint, RGB. I want it to be black. I don't want it to cut out. And finally, if I want, I can just grab this and I can move it all around and shrink it the way I want. Okay, or I can, like that, lock this up top, and I'm going to say I really want it 3. Okay, and when I hit 3, you can see it automatically adjusts to the right size. And we can put Hello World in there. Or I can just simply take this and stretch it up. All right, so I'm going to control key, I'm going to scroll in. You can see now I've got a box that is, right, 4.5. If I click on this box, you can see up top here 3996, which is close enough to 4 by 2.4. That's close enough. Okay, but if I really want, I put 4 now. And there you go, 4, and take the lock off. Then 2.5 if I want to be precise. There we go. Okay, and that's how we're going to start. A couple other things really quick. You might want to just simply, over here now, I can use this little arrow to drop down. And I might want to pick up align and distribute. Okay, what that is I can now pick the box, pick the words, and where it says relative to, I can make this one say the biggest object. Sure, the biggest object, okay, which is the square. And then I can take this one, which is center on the vertical, so you can see it centered that way. And then down below it, center on the horizontal. And now it is actually dead centered. And that's where we're going to leave off for this tutorial. And we'll see you in the next one.